Okay, we got the heart. We got a blood vessel that brings blood into the right atrium. This is the superior vena cava. Superior vena cava has a split. Okay, which one? What is this?
Brachiocephalic
Left. Brachio. Look at that, someone's ahead of the game. I just dropped it down, still didn't help. Okay, we have 3 vessels coming off. Okay, we have I, V, E. I, internal jugular. V, vertebral. E, external jugular. Okay? At this point, this is considered the subclavian. Because it becomes the brachiocephalic. Brachiocephalic designates, hey, blood from the arm, blood from the head. The reason it's brachiocephalic here is because here's that blood from the head. Okay? So until we have these vessels pulling in blood, we can't call it the brachiocephalic because it's just the arm blood that's coming. Okay, so this is the subclavian. Keeps going. Here we have clavicle. I know it's terrible, clavicle. It's okay. Clavicle. Okay, and once we're under the clavicle, now we have the axillary. Okay? Now the axillary technically is formed by 3 vessels. All right, so we have the basilic, brachial, and the cephalic. Okay? And these 3 vessels are all within the arm. The basilic and the brachial come together and they're the axillary. The cephalic joins further up. Okay? Now, this brachial, basilic, brachial, okay? Continuing down, this is the upper arm. Okay? At the forearm right here, there's a connection between the basilic and the cephalic. It's almost a diagonal vessel. It's called the median cubital vein. Okay, got the median cubital. Further down in the forearm, we got, which way is the thumb?
That'll be the elbow.
On
The median
would be
cubital.
on your right.
Oh. God, I'm such a genius. Okay, so we got the thumb this way. So the cephalic continues going down, but down here we also have the radial, we have the ulnar, and we still have that basilic. Okay? They're all floating down. Okay, so those are the vessels that you have down here. The way that you remember that the cephalic is at the thumb is if you take either arm and you curve it around your head, it's called the cephalic because it's the part of your arm that touches your head. Okay, so if the cephalic is on this part of my arm, the basilic will be on the other part of my arm. Okay, so that's all the way up into the torso, or up into the upper arm. Okay, we have the inferior vena cava, and that's going to go down. Here's the diaphragm. You got that? I can't ever spell anything. They're used to it. Okay, we got the ribs along here, and you have intercostal veins, and these intercostal veins are all going to drain into 2 vessels. On the left side, it basically runs up and down right beside the vertebral column. It's called the hemiazygus. I can spell that though, that's a problem. Okay, and we have another one. It's still a little bit to the left, but it's closer to the vertebral column, and it's the azygus. Okay, and these 2 will go into the superior vena cava. All right, so the intercostals come into the azygus from the right, they come into the hemiazygus from the left, and they go into the superior vena cava. Down in the abdomen, we have the inferior vena cava coming down and in. All right, we are going to see blood vessel coming to the kidney. This is the renal. Okay? We also have blood vessels. Now this is a little bit hard to draw, but we got the liver over here. Okay, we got the liver. Now, remember that all throughout the abdomen, you have the abdominal viscera. So you have, I'm going to list it as opposed to draw it because it would be a mess. You got the small intestine, the stomach, spleen, pancreas, colon or large intestine. All of the venous blood supply from here, this is all very nutrient rich. Okay? So all of this, blood from all of these places, is going to go to the liver first. And the vessel that it goes through to get into the liver is called the hepatic portal vein. Okay? Goes through the liver does its thing, and then it's going to be put into this inferior vena cava. The way this happens is there are now hepatic veins that are going to come here into the inferior vena cava. Okay, additionally, we had our kidney. This is going to be a really messed up ovary, but okay. We have, remember that, I'm going to draw it on the side. We have the vena cava, gives us the renal on both sides. It's a really kidney. Okay, now let's say that this is a female. So we have okay. Okay, so we have these ovarians, and you guys remember the suspensory, right? That brings blood supply to the ovaries. Well, the suspensory has a vein. And since this is a female, it's the ovarian vein. And that's going to go, and on the right side, it goes straight into the inferior vena cava. However, on the left, it goes into the renal vein, okay? And then from there, it goes into the inferior vena cava. Further down, as we go, I'm going to erase the uterus, okay? We have a split in the vena cava. And what this gives us is the iliac. Common iliac. And then the common iliac is going to split, or is split, and we have the internal iliac going to the bum. And we have the external iliac coming from the leg. This way. Okay. Once we're past the inguinal canal, we got the femoral. Okay. The femoral runs, and alongside of it, medially to it, you have the great or greater saphenous. Okay? The femoral is here. You also have deep femoral. I don't remember if that's on your list or not. Behind the knee, you have the popliteal, because your knee pops. Okay? And then down here in the leg, I can't draw it, but you have the anterior, posterior, tibial, and the fibular. Okay? As well as out here on the side, you'll have the small saphenous, or the smaller saphenous. Okay, so that's veins. Arteries are a different beast.